So in this problem, which is exercise 3-1, um, I'm gonna now explain it to you because now we will apply the concept of accrual, which is about matching revenues with the expenses and with its right period, right? So revenues and expenses in its right period when revenues, those revenues that were earned in that period, those expenses that were incurred in that period to gain those revenues, right? To earn those revenues. So the question here is that basically we have people who are working employees, part-time employees. How many of them? Five. So five employees and and then they make $250 per day. Okay, each one of them. So sorry about my writing. So now the issue is that your 1 month, so I'm gonna put a sort of a is coming on Monday. Okay, so remember time period, revenues and expenses in its own time period, and then the January starts. So these employees were working on December 28th. They got paid because the salaries are paid every Friday. So salaries paid Saturday and Sunday, you got a weekend, and December 31st, which is Monday, and these employees worked on that one day. But that December 31st belongs to which month? The month of December. And now you have another month coming up, which is starting from January 1st. So this is where you're going to adjust accounting so that the revenues and expenses belong to its right period. So here, what we're going to do is that we will find out what's that one day of salary for the five employees. So 5 multiplied by $250 is going to be I believe 1250. $1,250 is an additional worth of salary that belongs to the 1 month of December. Okay, so this when we book the entry on December 31st, what's that entry? Because we paid for the 5 days, for 5 days multiplied by 5 employees multiplied by 250, right? So that is 6,250. So on December 28th, the entry would have been cash, right? Credit 6,250, and salary expense or wages expense. Okay, wages expense 6,250. Okay, so this is debit, this is credit. Okay, so this is the entry we would have done. So we have recognized this expense for this last week, February 28th, all those 5 days here in this time period in the past week, by doing this entry. Now we have this one single day left, which is a wages expense that we have not included yet in the month of December. Okay, so how are we gonna fix that? We will do an entry on December 31st, and that's called an adjusting entry. And all we are trying to do is make an adjustment so that the expenses are all those expenses that were incurred are recognized in its right time period. And why these expenses are incurred? Because these employees worked and worked in that month. and so we must do an adjusting entry to recognize that incurring process, right? So here the entry will be wages expense for that one day. That's the entry we will do on December 31st. For how much? 1250, right? Because it's for one day. And what's the other entry? We are not paying cash on this day. Remember, we pay every Friday, and December 31st is Monday. So we because we are not paying on that day, we'll call it wages payable, which is credit 1250. So debit and credit. Okay, so this is the entry we will do on December 31st. Why are we doing this entry? Because we want to make sure that the wages expense, which belongs to the month of December, is recognized in that month, because this is the work that has been done by these employees in that month, and it's been in this expense has been incurred already, and although we have not paid cash for it yet, we have to pay the cash in the following Friday coming up. But we must do this entry, so that why so that our expenses are fully taken care of, all those expenses that have been incurred in that month. If we let's say if we plan to make an income statement for the month of December, that'll be perfect if we have this one day. If it's missing, that means our expenses are not fully recognizing all those expenses that were incurred in that month.